What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Texas Gamer here, and today we are back in another Tiny Ship Stories video. Today we're talking about the RMS Lusitania. The RMS Lusitania was the epitome of luxury and elegance, the crown jewel of the Cunard line. But built in 1907, this master ship was designed to impress. With its opulent dining rooms, elaborate staircases, and lavish staterooms. But the Lusitania was more than just a pretty face. It was also a technological marvel, capable of crossing the Atlantic in just 5 days. However, as World War I broke out in 1914, the Lusitania found itself at the center of a global conflict. With Britain and Germany locked in a bitter struggle, the Lusitania became a vital lifeline, ferrying people and goods across the treacherous waters of the North Atlantic. Despite the danger, Lusitania remained a symbol of hope and resilience, a beacon of luxury in a world torn apart by war. As the war dragged on, Lusitania's role became increasingly precarious. With German U-boats patrolling the seas, the ship's owners knew they were taking a huge risk by continuing to operate. Yet, the Lusitania remained a popular route, with passengers eager to flee the chaos of Europe and find safety in the United States. As the Lusitania set sail from New York on May 1st, 1915, the tension doubled. But Germany's naval blockade in full effect, the ship's owners knew they were under the microscope. But despite the danger, the Lusitania pushed on, a symbol of defiance in the face of adversity. The situation in Europe was growing more precarious by the day. Germany, determined to crush its enemies, had declared unrestricted submarine warfare, giving its U-boats free rein to attack any ship it could. Meanwhile, Britain was doing its best to blockade Germany, choking off its supply lines and starving its people. It was only a matter of time before something gave. As the Lusitania sailed deeper into the war zone, threats from German U-boats grew more ominous. The ship's owners had been warned. They had no idea how serious this danger was. In Berlin, the German High Command was plotting its next move, one that would change the course of history forever. The Lusitania was on a collision course with disaster, and nothing stopped it. On May 7, 1815, the ship was steaming through the Irish Sea. Its passengers enjoying the warm spring weather, but beneath the surface, a German U-boat was lurking, its crew waiting for the perfect moment to strike. On the bridge of the Lusitania, Captain William Turner was unaware of the danger lurking beneath the waves, but as the ship sailed closer to its destination, the tension was growing. Something was about to go terribly wrong. There was nothing anyone could do to stop it. At 2:10 p.m. on May 7, 1915, the unthinkable happened. A torpedo slammed into the side of Lusitania, sending shockwaves through the ship. Panic set in as passengers and crew rushed to evacuate, but it quickly became clear that the ship was doomed. The explosion was massive, sending a plume of smoke and debris high into the air. As the ship began to sink, the chaos was total. Women and children were crying, men were shouting, and the sounds of gunfire echoed across the water. It was a scene from hell, and it was all happening in slow motion. As the Lusitania went down, the horror was compounded by the fact that many of its passengers were trapped below deck. With the ship listing severely, it was impossible for many people to escape. The cries for help were drowned out by the sound of the ship cracking and groaning, its massive hull surrendering to the pressure of the sea. The aftermath of the sinking was one of shock and outrage. The world was stunned by the brutal attack, and the United States was forced to confront its own vulnerabilities. But as the dust settled, one thing became clear: the sinking of Lusitania had changed everything. The loss of life was staggering. With over 1,000 people killed in the disaster, the tragedy sent shockwaves across the world, galvanizing public opinion against Germany and pushing the United States closer to war. It was a turning point in history, one that would have far-reaching consequences. As we reflect on the sinking of the Lusitania, it's clear that the tragedy was the defining moment in World War I. The attack on the ship was a catalyst for the United States' entry into the war, and its impact was felt for generations to come. The Lusitania may have just been one ship, but its sinking changed the course of history forever. So what do you think about the sinking of the Lusitania? Do you believe it was a legitimate act of war or a brutal attack on innocent civilians? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to check out my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one.